All right.
What are you starting with?
Now, what do you want me to start with?
I don't care.
Well, Bob, you're recreational.
Let's just rock and roll.
Let me do the, I think, well, no, you want to do the recreation because they're all in that one.
All right. Let's do it first. It's 5:37. I call the El Reno Recreational Authority. Why do I got two of them? Okay, one minute. Roll call starts with Miss Ryder.
Here. Trustee Robinson.
Here.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Cronster. Chairman Ballhorn.
Yeah. Discussion items. Number one, discussion, consideration, and possible action to approve and award possible proposal for a lease of restaurant space located at the golf course facility and authorize city manager to negotiate terms allowing the city attorney to approve as to legal form allowing signing of said lease agreement.
Are you calling on someone to discuss or just?
Well, that's just what I said. Discussion item, right?
I would yield my time to Mr. Sandage. He's been more hands-on with this.
Right now, we lease our bar space to it's the golf course bar. I know Keith Claiborne is here representing the golf course. They have an existing lease with the city. They are proposing to amend their lease to include the additional restaurant space. The restaurant space has been leased by Signor Holdings, which is now Target Lodging. They submitted their notice to terminate their lease. Effective, it would be April 30th would be their final day in the restaurant. So we have in your packets you have a proposal from Golf Course Bar to include the restaurant space as part of their lease. They are proposing to pay $750 lease for the restaurant and bar, and 75% utilities for the building, and then 100% for cable or any additional security or security monitoring needed. So at this time, I'd like to call upon Keith to kind of go through the proposal as far as what you're thinking as far as hours of operation, food served.
Okay. So what we did, we kind of amended that. Does everybody have a copy? I made some more copies. But, the plan is try to open it for a lunch and a dinner, have a cook there. Not nothing real fancy, but enough to make a good food from 11 to 2 and 5 to 8. But also have the bar staff and the restaurant staff serve from 11 to 2 all day, whether you wanted a hot dog, nachos, fried food, french fries, stuff like that. Kind of make it like a quick thing. So if you're golfing, you can grab something. If you're sitting at the bar, you can order something small, and we can handle it without fully staffing a restaurant like we would during the lunch and dinner hours. It's planned there. We're in talks with a couple of food vendors that work in places like Louis and the local in Yukon. We haven't really nailed down a menu yet of what they want. They all see possibility, and they all want to do it, but we're still looking out and possibly hire one of their guys as their restaurant manager, someone that has some sense in the matter.
So is that for looking at future to have it open for dinner for something for a full menu?
Yes, from 11 to 2, starting, June 1st, get a month to get all of our licenses and everything. Then 11 to 2 for lunch and 5 to 8 for dinner on Tuesday through Sunday.
So from 2 to 5, are you going to still have anything that they can order?
Yes, it'll be we'll have like the bar menu. That's what I said, the deep fried food. Yes,
Yeah.
through the bar. I mean, they'll be there.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
You just ain't gonna have a staff in the kitchen.
Exactly. Yeah, it'd be something something you have to have a cook to do. Hot dogs, nachos,
Yeah.
chips and salsa, deep fried
quick,
things.
easy stuff.
Yeah, quick, easy stuff.
If you're looking to bring someone in, what is your hope to have it done by, to have a staffed kitchen?
June 1st.
June 1st?
Yeah.
Okay. Which will be more than the hot dogs and nachos?
Yeah, we'll start the hot dogs and stuff as soon as we get our food permits and legal stuff to do that. But as far as ordering food and locking down a menu, I put June 1st. If it happens faster than that, it does.
So how's business out there? What made you want to do this?
I just think that, the bar, we pretty much broke even throughout the year. We didn't lose any, we didn't make any. I think the restaurant, not having a restaurant hurts the bar. I live in that neighborhood. I want a restaurant and bar there. That's why I opened it. I didn't open it for another job, but I want it to succeed and grow and stuff like that. So I think, and we talked about this, when the restaurant was there, people would come in, and now it's kind of, it's kind of like, that's its own thing, only Oilfield. And we don't get a whole lot of Oilfield. We get some, but not a whole lot. We're towers, and usually when they come in, they leave, and we don't get a whole lot of traffic from them in the bar.
Well, and I think that's also slowed down the meal process for the public too. Nobody wants to go there to eat.
Yes, I agree with that.
Well, I think the little snack bar, I think that's
That'll
right
work a lot
down
better.
out there. I think that's more than a restaurant. I think you'll get more snack business than restaurant business.
Yeah, man, and that's probably what the cook will do. They'll make sandwiches, stock it, waitress can go in and grab whatever they need.
I think that's great.
We did put on the back page the beverage card, which is up for discussion. I know that now that they've changed the law, actually it hadn't gone into effect yet, but legally, when someone buys a beer, they have to open it right there, and you can only buy 2 at a time. So when people play 9 holes, you can only start with 2 beers. Now that the law has changed, we can go back to selling 6-packs from the pro shop or the bar. So the beverage cart really, because everybody buys a 6-pack and does that. We was wanting to run it mainly for, mixed drinks out there. And then we've been hit up on a few tournaments to sponsor the food. And of course, the bar makes money off these tournaments, so we have no problem doing that. But we wanted to run that on that, if y'all would. And then on tournaments, when they have tournaments, we know that some people bring in their own food. Some of them, we would offer to cater every tournament, but some of them are even probably bigger than we want to handle. But, if they're going to use the patio and the restaurant, charge them a little surcharge to use that. We certainly don't want to turn them away, if it's.
Well, I don't know that we want to get rid of the beverage cart.
We do not want to get rid of the beverage cart. No, we don't want to get rid of the beverage cart.
Or allow somebody else to have it.
No.
That'll stay with
Well, we have our
us.
own beverage cart. We just want to
Well, but-
we'll run ours. Not
Yeah,
yours.
and I guess that's what I'm saying. I thought that when we talked about this, did we, man? I mean, the bottom line is, let me back up. Heath, I think it's great that you guys run it. I think go back to your point. With the bar, you and Hunter can control that more with the restaurant and have the parties and stuff like that. But as far as the beverage deal, I think we got to be careful with this thing. We've gone through several, and I've gone through more than everybody else on here because I've been on, I'm the one that's been on here the longest. And we've gone through us owning it, not owning it. We've had to go through the license one time. We had our license. We had to go back and get a license. We had to go back and get the license because of the new law, Roger. I mean, when Mike Bowman had it, I mean, it's been we've had to do this. And when you do that, we've got to put signs out. I mean, it's a disaster. So we've kind of made, and Roger, I think you and I kind of made a pact that we've always just wanted to make sure that the city kind of had control of that because of the nature of the business as far as, selling the beer out of the, because the operators, these are year-to-year leases, we can't control that.
And the city's still precluded from selling alcohol, but the recreational authority can do so.
That's right. So now the recreational authority has a license. I want to, I want you to sell mixed drinks and like that. I'm all for that. And I'm all for you having this restaurant, but I think we need to control the beverage cart.
Well, but do we really need mixed drinks floating around out in the golf course with cups and?
I don't have a problem with that
I
as
don't
much as.
either. I mean, there's-
I don't have much of a problem with that. I'm saying, I don't think we need to, but whatever is on a golf course, we need to control, is my opinion.
Right.
With our beverage cart. I mean,
So who runs that beverage cart?
well, he has girls he hires.
Yes.
Matter of fact, we had to redo it because we had, the laws changed and we had to have,
License.
well, they had to be over a certain age, they had to watch a video. I mean, it's not an easy deal, I don't think, is it, Matt?
No, you have to train and get a license to sell. I mean, and now you have to.
So Heath, how much of the beverage cart percentage of your gross projected sales was it, including that beverage cart?
Well, we didn't really have a percentage, but we know that whenever they have tournaments, it's crowded, and then they go out there, and we're donating the food. We'd want to have that. We'd also sell, we wouldn't take bottles of liquor out there. We'd have it pre-mixed, club specials, Bloody Marys, one other drink.
And that's what
stuff
they have
like
beer
that.
bottles or beer cans out there.
Right.
No, I'm with you on that. I just don't, I think if we're gonna do that, we need to control that. But I don't, now, us getting into a bartender situation, we don't wanna do that.
Yeah.
You know, it's a slippery slope, I guess you're going
Well, but
down.
that's what I was saying. If the city stays in control of it, we're gonna have to sell just beer.
Right. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I agree with Tracy that I don't have a problem with I think having the Bloody Mary special out there is no different than having a 12-pack of beer. I mean, it's control whatever you want to. It doesn't matter. The cup's the same. But I agree with you, Bob. It goes back to the point to where now we're kind of in we're the bar business out there on the golf course. And that's not really kind of what we envisioned. I think it was basically beer is kind of like water and pop on the golf course. People prefer that, so I'm okay with that. But we need to be able to control that in my
Why is
experience.
that? Explain what you mean by we need to be able to control that.
Okay, I'll say it again.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We want the cart.
we want the cart because of, we've had to go through this situation before, when Mike Bone had it, when Jerry had it, when the recreational authority had to change hands. We basically had to keep this license with the city. And a couple of times we didn't do it because we let it lapse. And then we couldn't sell beer at the golf course at all for a month or two, until we had to reapply for our license. We had to take a situation where we couldn't sell beer because the new liquor law changed to a certain period of time. And what I'm saying is that operators come and go, operating the golf course does not. We're steady Eddie, so we ought to have control of the beer.
But as long as we continue our licensing, if there's
We
an
don't own the
establishment.
The city doesn't have a liquor license.
No, the individuals are licensed.
Yeah, but the city does have
The rec authority.
The
has-
recreational authority has a liquor license.
But
The city-
just because, I mean, do we have to, operate it for the license to stay current? No. I mean, if there's somebody who's leasing the place and they want to do it, as long as they are in good lease and, and running it. I
We
mean,
just had to go through that a lot, Tracy. I think it goes back to the point to where we make money off the beer card. We control the tournaments.
Okay, so that's what it goes. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing I was saying. We control when the cart goes out. We control them. We've had trouble in the past when certain operators, then we had tournaments, they would come back and say, we're not coming back because we didn't have a beer cart girl out here to serve us drinks. We want X amount of beer cart out here and you all aren't providing that. I think, so we just decided that it's best for us to control that because we understand what the tournament's gonna be. It's gonna be like a Bank of Union, I don't know, what's something like Bank of Union, or Bank First, or a football deal, might be a bigger deal, then they're gonna have to have more than one cart person out there. And they understand that. So we were controlling that based on the golf course itself. The beer is part of the water and the pop and the refreshments, part of the service of the $42 that you're gonna pay for a round of golf. Does it make sense? Is that better? So, I mean, that's what we've done in the past. And we make money at the beer cart. I mean, we've had it where we don't run the beer cart. But we don't control it.
So, and this is is this a 6 month or a 1 year?
1 year.
1 year?
I mean, I'm all for you guys. I mean, I think we've had some.
We've had some issues.
We've had some bugs that worked out, but I think we've got those worked out, right?
Yep.
I mean, and I think it's done good. I mean, I think you guys have done, yeah, I'm with you. I think we've had a couple bugs worked out, but I think we've got those worked out. I think everybody's on the right page. I think it's been proven that everybody understands where we need to be and what, whose facility is and what the operator needs to be doing. And you guys have done a great job out there. You guys kept this thing afloat, and we appreciate it. And I'd love to see you have the restaurant side to do it. Now, I do want to ask a question about that Target Lodge here in a minute too, after we get done with them. But, so I don't have a problem with you having the deal. I just don't think the beer cart should be involved. Do you have a problem with that? I mean, is it
No, it's gonna be about 50% on that day. I mean, it kind of it kind of puts us in competition with y'all, and
And we understand
we don't want
that.
to fight with our bosses, we all win every time.
Yeah, we don't want to either. I guess what we really want to see, here's how we want to see the facility. Can I go back to Tracy's question? Why do you want to do this? What we want to do is we want to control the golf course and the speed and the service from our patrons. Does it make sense? And then we want you inside, we don't want to have anything to do with the service that you provide on that patio, and in that silo, and in that kitchen area. We want you to be able to provide that, before or after they get ready to golf. That's kind of our thought process, or
And
mine.
our beverage cart won't go out until after the tournaments start, and then it will stop closely before they end, so that they're forced, if they want to drink anything, they'll have to drink. through the
And we need to do a better job. I know what Heath was saying. I mean, it goes back to the point to where, but don't forget, you say you're fighting with your bosses. Well, we got bosses too, Heath. You know who our bosses are? It's the citizens of El Reno. And you're laughing.
No,
I want
you're
to tell
right.
you, I've seen golf carts 100 times pull up there to Rudy's and get a 12-pack of beer, and go in that Rudy's and get a 12-pack of beer, Hunter, and get that beer and drive around that golf course and not buy a beer from me or you.
Oh, yeah, that's a big
And
problem.
so, I mean, that's a fact of life there, and that ain't right either. But I see it happen every day. They drive these golf carts.
And at every golf course.
Yeah, and they shouldn't be doing that. We've talked about putting stick tape, and we've talked about this before, putting some type of tape on there showing it's one of our beer out there on our, because we need to be able to control that. That needs to be part of our deal. If we're supplying the license, we're supplying the liability, both you and us both, then we need to have exclusivity of that. Is that a word?
I mean, exclusivity, yeah.
I don't think I said it right. I think you said it right and I didn't.
I don't think I did. Hey, so let me ask you this. So the cart that the recreational authority will run is beer. Is there anything else on there besides beer?
I think we have.
There's snacks and Gatorade.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
okay. Okay.
but hang on. I think there is also some wine that he bought. Wait,
We just have a retail beer license.
I know, but I thought that he has some kind of wine cooler or something like that on there.
Well, there's wine coolers, which is still a beer.
Well, they're like a little cup. I'm just saying, whatever that was.
So when, my thought is, when people are out there in tournaments and they're either going to want beer or they're going to want something else, would there be a problem entertaining, not letting them have a beer cart, but if he has a mixed drink cart, and then it's not competition because people are either gonna want one or want the other, to allow that to happen?
No, I don't think that's right. But I'll kind of run with that a little bit. How are you going to serve these pre-mixed drinks? And you have to serve it to. They can only buy one at a time, right?
Yes.
Because you can't do more than double shot.
Yeah. Yeah, you sell you're really selling the shot, so.
Your existing license won't allow for that, right? You have to be
Well,
on premise.
once we get the restaurant, to serve outside the bar, your 35% of your sales has to be non-alcohol. So once we have the restaurant, then we'll qualify to open it up to the, like right now where the patio is 21 and over, we'll be able to take that sticker off and open that up. And the golf course can be our area, just like it's y'all's area also.
Right.
So.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, but what I was going to say is, let's go back to Tracy's. I'm just making this up now. Let's say that you're going over to like the nutrition place over here, and they give you a drink. They seal it with this clear substance. You put a straw in there. I mean, how are you going to serve this drink? Is it going to be in a plastic container?
It'll be in a styrofoam cup. We can because our bar area will encompass the golf course. So now I'm not going to have a full bar running around out there on the golf course. You'll have 3 options.
Club Special Bloody Mary.
Yeah, and one other thing.
And
So,
Tequila Sunrise.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to say is I'll go back to
I mean,
Tracy's
in theory,
deal.
it's not-
I wouldn't mind. I mean, I wouldn't mind allowing you to serve the liquor in your facility and them taking it out to our golf course, if that's what they want to do. But everybody keeps on saying, let them have the beer cart. Well, you all don't own a beer cart. We own the beer carts, so you have to buy your own beer cart.
We have a beer cart.
You have your own?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I have a golf cart that has the flat thing on the back.
oh, you just got like a cooler cart.
Yeah.
Okay. The little flaps with the clear, you ice them down. I don't know. I think we're getting complicated, but I don't want to hinder you. I don't want to hurt you. I mean, I want to help you. I think everybody up here wants to help you, but we don't want to cut our nose off the side of our face either. We got to have control of that beer, and we got to have control of those beer carts because we've been in trouble before by not being able to provide it. Period in the story, and we also have been in trouble, Kent, when we had to run to go tournaments. Is that right?
That's correct.
I mean, to their ability that they want.
So for now, can we not just pass the restaurant without the beverage cart?
We can, but
And then-
if that's okay with you.
And then if we can figure out a way, or you guys can come up with an
Amendment, maybe to see what we can do, maybe you talk to Greg Bynum and see how it kind of works more and explain to us.
Yeah, I'll have to talk to him once.
I think if you talk to Greg Bynum more, or someone that's able, that can kind of give us a better handle of what that is, because I'm gonna disagree with you, I don't think you can expand that area.
all the way to the other side of the lake.
I don't think you can, but I'm not saying you can't, I just don't, it's not the way I read the law, but I'm not saying that.
That's the way our initial proposal was, that got turned down by Able because we didn't have 35% non-alcohol sales.
And that might be right. I mean, that might be your kicker. That might be what kicks you in a different category. And I didn't read that part, so I don't know. Well,
And then the last part was just if they're gonna bring their food, we're not gonna fight with them. It's just, there'll be a surcharge to use the restaurant for, if they bring a big, I know Cactus we're not gonna be able to compete with Cactus. We wouldn't be able to cook for that many people. And they bring a smoker and food, and we dang sure don't wanna discourage them from coming, but, if they're gonna come in there and set up.
you want to charge a surcharge. How much was that surcharge?
We was gonna do, I don't know, we usually do, right now we rent the patio out, we usually do $100.
For the patio.
Yeah, if they wanna block it.
Well, but we need to know what that is because we need to know what those fees are and they have to be approved really by, I'd like to see them go before the recreational board first, Bob, and then come back to us on that, just because I want to have their input on it to see what they want to do. I'm with you, Heath. I don't want to discourage those guys because they can make more money on the back end of them.
Yeah.
If they stay.
And I don't wanna run any tournaments.
No, I know you don't, but I also don't want to make sure that we don't run them off by not doing it. So I don't have a problem with you charging a surcharge, but I think we need to establish the surcharge, and that can come off the rent based on whatever else, I'm guessing. But once again, I think if you wanted to go, we can go ahead and do this, and then we'll address that at council, Matt. I was concerned, Mr. Is he handling this still?
Yeah, okay, he's still in charge.
And if you want to handle it, something like that, and kind of figure out some kind of deal, because I think that's absolutely fair to, like he's saying, you can't have them come in there and not be able to do all that, and then these guys sitting there,
Well, yeah, because they're losing all their.
they're losing all their, they're losing all their kind of food they were gonna cut on there, they ought to get something off it.
So it's $100 for an hour?
Well, he's saying that for the
Well,
patio.
people will call and want to do a wedding reception or a baby shower or something. We usually just say, yeah, we'll block the patio off for you, it's private,
Right,
and
right.
$100, and we send them a bartender up there
That's
so
cheap.
they don't have to,
Don't disagree, I think you go back to the point where he would get that money. So that would come off his deal, is what I'm trying to say. So, I'm all for that, let's just kind of figure out how we can structure that, and let's run it through the recreation authority. I think, Bob,
I
don't you?
think I think we have to.
Yeah. So, Heath, let me ask you this, if I make the motion and these other people approve it, the second approve it, to go ahead and grant you the lease, proposal to redo it, I guess, I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for.
So-
Renegotiate, I'm sorry, the terms, to extend your lease, but not allowing the beer cart, and then establishing in 1 month the fees for the
Outside vendors.
outside vendors.
Yes.
Come in. Is that okay with you?
I'll make that motion.
Oh, one more thing before I make that motion. So, the target's out.
As of April 30th.
Okay. Now, Roger, I want to make sure that the new city manager understands this, and you were involved in some of the contracting with some of those people, I think. You and Mr. Galloway, I don't know who all handled it. But in our original agreement, Mr. Robbins, I think we agreed to let them do that, but they could not serve food out there at their lodging.
Correct.
Is that right, Bob?
I believe so.
So we want to make sure that we agree that they can terminate that, but they can't move a trailer out there and start serving food out there. That wasn't part of that deal.
I'm almost pretty sure.
To the camp?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because our idea is for them to either go up to Heath's place and eat, Heath and Hunter's
Yeah.
place and eat, or go to one of our restaurants in
Right.
town.
Right.
That's in the original man camp lease.
Yeah, I was gonna say that wouldn't be in the lease of the restaurant.
One more thing.
I'm just saying we need to make sure that's true.
And just because I know through the girls playing golf and all that, a lot of times the high school has their regional tournaments and I mean, I know someone provides lunches.
Is that something y'all's gonna be able to do, is work with the schools and be able to do that?
Yeah, we would send a
Because,
letter
yeah,
out
I
to the
know
schools.
I've got some complaints in the past from our golf course. They had a regional tournament and they gave us sack lunch with a peanut butter jelly sandwich in there. You know, those schools were not very happy.
Yeah, I
So-
mean, we're gonna take POs, I mean, because that's the thing a school has to do, they're not gonna send the coach with cash. I mean, we.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
So we'll
but
take a
that's-
school PO, we'll send out
And
letters.
something you guys will be able to do is
Yeah.
get them a sack lunch,
Yeah,
obviously, that
I
they
mean,
can
we'll
grab and go.
probably bring a big grill out there.
There you go, okay.
Hot dogs and.
You'll have some type of standard that you're gonna.
I think that's important to
Yes.
work with the
Yeah,
schools. and-
I think.
Yeah, we
that's
want to,
right.
like, when the tournament comes in, we want them to, like what they see and want to
Okay.
come
Yeah,
back.
so they
Well,
come back.
I got the same pictures Robinson did. That lady, those people were upset when.
Man.
I don't know what you're laughing about, that was your boy doing that there, but God almighty.
I had one question. The previous tenants have leased the small wares, cups, saucers, knives, forks, and do you intend to do that as well, or are you
Yes.
bringing your own? Okay.
We need to get inventory list of all that.
So, yeah, we need to have a
Establish that.
formal lease, just like we do with the other tenants.
That's what we do at the bar also.
Yeah, they did at the bar.
So with that, I mean, you got the motions.
I made that motion.
Okay, I got your second.
All right, vote, oh, I'm not in charge.
And we know what we're doing.
I think
Yes,
we,
we did.
I think
We know
we're,
what
I think
the
we're
motion
saying,
is.
I think we're saying Hunter and Heath have the lease
For 1 year.
to extend out, and they're going to, for 1 year from today, to extend their lease for the bar and the other one, and the restaurant from 1 year today. And then they get, without, they cannot use we're not allowing the use of any kind of beer cart. And then also we need to establish between you and the city,
Within 30 days.
within 30 days, the fees of what some other company's gonna come in and,
And that'll
charge.
happen early enough for your June grill open time or
Yes.
whatever.
And
But
this,
the lease date would start from when?
After April 30th.
Yeah, after the agreement
Yes.
terminates. It's-
I'm sorry, that's what I meant,
Yeah.
that's what I
and the
meant.
motion would authorize the city attorney and city manager to hammer out
Okay, I
details.
got a motion
so
from
that-
Matt and a second by
Robinson.
Timmy.
And it goes in effect May 1, the lease.
Yep.
And that's with allowing city manager and city attorney to negotiate.
Yes,
additional-
Absolutely. And if I need to sign, or Bob needs to sign any documents, then
And this initial lease will not include the beer cart.
Does not include the beer cart.
that's fine.
Okay, the vote starts with Ms. Ryder.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Trustee White.
Yes.
Trustee Cronister. Chairman Ballhorn.
Yep. Motion for adjournment,
So moved.
all in favor?
What time do we get our free lunch?
May 1st.
Between 11 and 2?
Yeah, 11.
It's gonna be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Make it chunky.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Hunter Municipal Authority, I now call to order. Thank you, Hunter. Tuesday, April the 16th. Order at, 6 o'clock. Roll call start with Ryder.
Yep.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Ballhorn. Yep. Vice Chairman Cronister. Chairman White.
Yes. Move on discussion items. Discussion consideration possible action award bid for project number J37 Line Slakers to serve water treatment plant, approval of budget amendment, and authorize chairman and mayor to sign all documents associated there too. Jeff, we had a free bid opening today, is that correct, Mr. Frazier? And the line slakers were on there, we needed 2 of them?
Yes, we have 2 line breakers that we're replacing. If you recall, the previous attempt to replace this equipment, we, at my recommendation, did not pass that, and so we brought it back. And some things happened in between that we've taken care of, which have been removed from this bid, so therefore we're only doing the actual installation and replacement of the lime slakers themselves, minus some small, unnecessary, already corrected issues. So,
I think it's a lower price, is that right?
it is a lower price.
Okay. All right, and what is the price? I didn't.
It looks like 145.
I was at the bid opening, but I wasn't in there.
Is that the Quicksilver Construction?
No, this is a serious
Line slakers.
project. No, these are the document itself. Should be,
145, I think, Quicksilver.
There's two letters underneath the commentary.
There's Haynes Equipment.
Haynes should be first,
Haynes
shouldn't it?
Equipment and Quicksilver for the construction. Haynes is for the purchase
We are approving both the material and the installation in one document, in one item, so.
All right, so we're approving, so if I do this, I'll make a motion.
The 297 and the 145?
Yeah, if I approve the award of the Slakers itself for $297,857 for the lime Slakers, and also approve that's to Haynes Equipment, and also approve the installation to Quicksilver Construction for the low bid of $145,940. Will that get you where you need to get, Lindsay?
Yep.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
Second.
I got a motion and a second. Roll call vote, start with Ryder.
Yes.
Trustee Robinson.
Yes.
Trustee Ballhorn. Vice Chairman Cronster. Chairman White.
Yeah. All right, moving on to number 2, discussion carries possible action, approve a service damage release, a grant service easement agreement between the City of El Reno and the El Reno Municipal Authority and Camino Natural Resources LLC regarding known Cowabunga 1207310, 1MH located northwest quarter, northwest 4th of Section 3, Township 12, North Range 7, Indian Meridian, Canadian County, Oklahoma, and approved chairman to sign all documents associated thereto. We were approached by Camino, I can't say it right, Camino, to basically put a well on one of our, an oil well on one of our properties. It's located right there at basically Jones Road and Shepherd. Is that right, Jeff? We instructed them to go to Roger. Roger did a very good job, a little bit better than what we thought. We were looking for about $60,000. You got how much, Roger?
The total is $75,000 for the pad site, although their survey shows we only own 87% of the site, so we're getting a proportionate share of $75,000.
Well, that's not as good a deal as you thought it was, Roger.
Proportionally, it is, Mayor. It's right on.
Pretty good, Roger.
Well, whatever, Roger. Less than what we thought.
You said 85% of the pad site?
87,
87%.
that's what they're saying.
Now, good job, Roger, and like I said, I think it's a biggest rate I've ever seen on a pad site. That's great. And I think they want to do it. And I think the other good thing about that is Mr. Frazier, that Mr. Coba and myself and you want to sell water, don't we?
Oh, yeah.
We want to sell water out of the wastewater treatment, is that right?
As much as they'll take.
And we're moving forward with that project, is that correct? So we'll be able to sell them water for that well, which is a pretty good size pad. I think they're going to drill 4 wells in there, Roger.
And we get $10,000 per each additional well site that's drilled there. The only question I had that I wanted to advise you of is in paragraph 6, they say that 25 cents a barrel for frack water, which I understand is the negotiated price. But above that, they say operator to purchase drilling water for $150 per day. I'm a little unclear as to how that fits in.
The day water, it has to be separate than the fracking water because
So is that treated water?
it is treated water.
And is that the current rate you're paying to
I don't
those?
know. I don't know what that rate is.
Yeah, I don't know how that. Because we don't know, that's an unlimited use. They don't have the quantity.
Yes.
And I would think we'd want to sell them out at bulk rate at 2 cents a gallon, just like we sell anybody
Yeah, that's
else
what I
that
think.
treated water from.
My recommendation would be, if you would choose to approve it, is to let me strike that operator will purchase drilling water for $150 per day, and then just tell them that rate's whatever it is to every other consumer who buys.
Yeah, bulk water, well, we know what it is, it's 2 cents,
2 cents a gallon.
2 cents a gallon.
Okay.
There's 42 gallons to 1 barrel. Is that right, Jeff?
Yeah.
42.5.
But when they go to this using treated water, then they'd be buying, whatever else come out of our plant.
I'm just saying, I think they're gonna buy that from Wells, from George, but once again, I don't care. I just want to sell, I want to sell the other one's fracking water. I think you put 2 cents, that'd be great. I make a motion, we approve the contract that Roger's drawn up with the only correction of striking the well water, the day water, to 2 cents a gallon, making it 2 cents a gallon.
Okay.
Bulk water rate?
Bulk water
Because
rate.
in case that changes. it can
I was gonna
change
say,
with the
yeah.
bulk water
Sure,
rate.
bulk water rate, good, great call, yep, good idea. So that covers it. I got a motion and a second. Roll call vote start with Ballhorn.
Yep.
Trustee Robinson.
Yep.
Trustee Ryder.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Cronster. Chairman White.
Yes. Move on to motion for adjournment?
Number 3.
Yeah, adjournment.
Okay.
You're in Irma.
Yeah.
You have counsel in front of you probably.
All right. A motion for adjournment?
Yeah.
Got a motion for Robinson?
Second.
Second by Ryder, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned. now 6:07, and that's all over the city council meeting special Tuesday, April 16, 2019 to order.
Yeah.
We'll go on to roll call with Ryder.
Here,
Councilman Robinson. Here. Councilman
Yep.
Ballhorn. Vice Mayor Cronster. Mayor White.
Yes. Move on to number 1, discussion items, discussion and possible action to award bid, project number J37, Lime Slakers Suburban Water Treatment Plant, approval of the budget amendment, authorized chairman, mayor, to sign all documents associated thereto.
Make a motion, we approve the per
We got a motion to approve per authority.
Second.
Got a second, roll call vote, Board Ryder.
yes.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman
Yep.
Ballhorn. Vice Mayor Cronster. Mayor White.
Yes. Number 2, discussion consideration possible action to approve a surface damage release grant surface easement agreement between the city of El Reno, the El Reno Municipal Authority, and Camino. I cannot say that word right.
Take El Camino.
Yeah, Camino National Resources LLC regarding the well known as Cowabunga 12073-10 Resources LLC regarding the well known as Cowabunga, located at the northwest quarter 4th, section 4, section 3, township 12, north of range 7, west of Indian Meridian, Canadian County, and approve and give the chairman, mayor, all rights to sign the associate document. If y'all want to read all this, y'all can, laugh and giggle all you want.
Motion to approve per authority.
It is hard.
Terrible. I got a motion by Ballhorn. Second by Robinson. Roll call start with Ballhorn.
Yep.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cronster. Mayor White.
Yes. Number 3, discussion consideration possible action to approve the award proposal for the lease restaurant space located at the golf course facility. Authorize city manager to negotiate all terms, and the city attorney to approve legal form allowing the signed said lease and agreement.
Motion. Per authority.
I got a motion by Robinson, second by Ballhorn. Roll call start with Ballhorn.
Yep.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cronster. Mayor White.
Yes. Number 4, consider convening executive session pursuant to Title 25, state statutes, 307B2, to discuss proposed labor agreement, memorandum of understanding, MOU between the city of El Reno and the Federal Order Police, Lodge number 151, turning open session, formal approval of labor agreement and memorandum of understanding. Have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Got a motion? Second. Got a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Did you read number 5?
Yeah, come quick.
Oh, is there another one?
Yeah.
there's two.
I'm sorry, convene the executive session. All right, we're back in live session. I have a motion to come back to executive session.
Yep.
I got a motion by Ballhorn. Did you say second by Robinson?
Yes.
Okay, roll call start with Ryder.
Here,
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilman Ballhorn.
Yep.
Vice Mayor Cronster. Mayor White.
Yes. All right. Number 4, we take no action on number 4. Let's move on to 5.
on number 5, I move to, for the city manager and city attorney and the mayor to open negotiations for, the fiscal year 2019-2020.
Okay, I got a motion by Ms. Ryder.
Second.
Got a second by Ballhorn. Start with Ballhorn. Roll call.
Yep.
Councilman Robinson.
Yes.
Councilwoman Ryder.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cronster. Mayor White.
Yes. Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Got a motion. All in favor, say aye. Thank you all.